but we're what day is it now? Day 4 of the Club World Cup.
Started Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
It's day 5. Our
Day
coverage day
5.
4 review, but it's
Right.
day 5. Yes.
Okay. But did you hear the La Liga president, Javier Tebas?
I'm done.
In the Club World Cup, it's absurd and it needs to be eliminated. He's upset about all the players playing too much football. I think that's the problem there. And he's not one to keep his opinions to himself, as he hold.
He's happy to take the $10 million to qualify, though, wasn't he?
Yeah,
More than
seems
happy.
Seems a little bit of talking over here, and you know, depending on how much your players or your assets, because that's what they are being exhausted, right? It's not out of personal well-being. Anyways.
There is concern about the climate and the weather and how hot it is and how the players are struggling and looking forward to next year's World Cup. But this happens. World Cups are played in hot climates all the time.
Oh, Qatar. I know they had air conditioning, but come on.
But it's also moved, towards the end of the year, right?
Oh, that's right. I forgot that. It's December, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
November, December.
So it was only 40 degrees centigrade.
You know what?
Temperate.
They need to suck it up. Come on. We've got a World Cup here in '94. We played in this summer. Major League Soccer plays throughout the summer. CONCACAF qualifying, whatever it is, we play throughout the summer. Shut up and play.
I agree.
Thank you, Jimmy. Yeah, absolutely. So all those millennials, Jimmy.
No, but it's coming from an owner who is just taking money, like as Craig said, doesn't mind the 10 million, right?
Is it the owner that got pumped for now?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it maybe makes you rethink, though, like in the ambitions of FIFA to have this Club World Cup, overly ambitious when you look at, through 4 match days so far, where you had some disappointing attendances, maybe based on kickoff times, maybe based on the venue chosen. You've seen sellouts as well. Yeah. But the middle ground is probably, not at capacity. And that's maybe because they've chosen the wrong venue. So because of the considerations for climate change, for the time of year, projecting forward to next year and looking to be successful is not only the kind of the dress rehearsal for all of these places and your security, your personnel, not just the ticket prices and how full it is, but making sure that everything is executed. Yeah. Is that the right word?
Executed.
Oh my God, executive.
Yeah, you are so embarrassing. I don't know why you're on this show.
I was like, that's terrible. You know what I mean?
It's a weird word, though, in fairness.
Well, thanks for coming to my defense. That was just a swing and a miss by me. Yeah. But I think for FIFA, they take a look at this and then, like, especially with the infrastructure that the US have, right? Whether it's USL or it's MLS, and you have these state-of-the-art facilities where they might be covered. They might have that, like you saw in Qatar, where you have like the air conditioning within it. Like there are better options. And I think that's what's been a miss so far, has been they've looked too big and been too ambitious in trying to fill like an NFL stadium, where they should be going like kind of middle ground, and it's a better setup and a better outcome for everybody.
Yeah, especially for the midweek 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock kickoffs.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But you have these incredible palaces. It's tough not to use them as well.
Yeah, but that Orlando, I mean, we talk about CPL sometimes, and the camera on the wrong side of the field, and then all of a sudden you're watching that Orlando game where they said there was 6,000 people there. There was, I mean, I would love to think there was 6,000 people there. But I mean, how many seats does Orlando? What's that capacity? Probably a good 30 something. And
Orlando City?
Yeah.
It's only like 20,000 or something.
Oh, it's only like 20? Yeah, it was a 12 o'clock showing for who was it? Sundown versus a South African team versus if I remember, a Korean team. Were those the two that were playing?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for confirming. I should know this, but
you're
not going to get, as Dubs just mentioned, you're not going to get the pull at 12 on a Tuesday in the middle, and when summer hasn't, like, school isn't out yet. There's no getting people to this, and I think that's where FIFA have to start thinking about families, have to start thinking about attendance, what people can consider feasible on costs and time and schedule all across that. And I don't know if they have. I mean, everyone does their homework, but that is some consideration that you don't have to think about in Europe, that you don't have to think about in certain spaces.
By the way, that stadium's 25K.
25
So soccer specific.
Inter and Company, isn't it? Inter and Co Stadium, I think they call it.
I think it's a difficult situation too. There's so many teams that are in this Club World Cup. They've got to get the matches played, and you can't have them all at nighttime.
No.
So they're probably willing, when they put it all together, saying, okay, we're going to have to sacrifice a little bit here. But once we get out to the next stages, knockout stages, every game will be at night and be completely different. So there probably is some sacrifice and reward at the same time, but
some deals probably done with stadiums too for a bunch of games, as a so they're bundled in as opposed to jumping around. Logistically, is pretty tough.
Again, Forrest, it's like you're making a great point, but it's either undercut or driven home by the fact that there's violins playing in the background.
This is a violin moment.
No matter what he says, it seems powerful and
That's
profound.
right. It was more powerful. It was really good. I also wanted to, there seems to be a narrative, and it's on Twitter right now, and people are like, oh, this is how many people, and they take a picture of the stadium. And we talked about people coming into the stadium late or having issues getting in. And it still reminds me, there was a match where they did that yesterday, and then the next thing I know, it's a full stadium. I forget which match it was, but these are those. This is kind of that easy, clickbait photo that gets played on Twitter, and then 15 minutes later, the stadium is jammed. So there is that kind of. I take it with a grain of salt.
The Dortmund game, there, I mean, it's an 82,000 seat stadium in MetLife, right? And it was half full, but still 34,000 fans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's a pretty decent crowd.
Yeah,
I know it's Dortmund playing, but I mean, they're a big club and they're below it, but it's not as if they're a AC Milan or a Barcelona, right? There, so 34K, and that looked pretty decent there, from the camera angles, even though they dropped points.
But I think if you're getting numbers that MLS gets at 34,000 for a midweek game, or I think that's what your comparison is. Not, hey, FIFA World Cup, where it's international fans flying in from all over, and it's that supporters nations ticket money. It's not the same. They're not oranges and oranges. A club from watching someone from South Africa play against Korea isn't gonna have a pull anywhere unless you have those countries. Oh, look at that!
There you go, Sundowns.
There you go.
There's the match for you.
Yep.
Right.
That one goal.
They snuck out a 1-0 win.
Yeah,
exactly. But so we saw them, the dominating team in South Africa, play and pick up a win against one of the best teams from Korea. One of those matches that we said we have no idea what to expect in this game. We don't know. But the best name in the tournament, the Sundowns, with 3 important points. So, and a great celebration to boot with that one. What do you make of the what do you call them? The walkouts. We're seeing these kind of NBA, WWE style walkouts. Are you a fan? Is it too much glitz and glam? Is it too non-traditional? Dubs, you're nodding.
I think to me it's borderline satire. So it's edging on the WWE stuff, and I know.
No, I think they're leaning. Dubs are leaning into Footy Prime because we're borderline satire.
We're just borderline.
And it's also like the FIFA crest in the middle. Like everything just seems a little bit garish to me. Like they're trying a little bit too hard. And I don't mind that, because there has to be that angle, I think, to carve out your spot, especially in North America. Like, what is your angle going to be? What are you going to double down on, like, in order to pull fans in who aren't your diehards? Because that is, of course, a consideration. So why not go big? So in one sense, I see it, but I don't know. It seems a bit cartoonish.
They used to do that in the MLS back in the day. I remember Frank Yelp, when he was playing for Tampa Bay Mutiny. The American players would get the announcer would get all into it. He'd be like, number 3, all state, all American, just going absolutely nuts, and the crowd going crazy. And be number 2, Frank Yelp. He's walking out there. He's like, what the fuck you talking? Like, played in the Premier League. Like, oh no, buddy, you're not all state, man.
Not all state.
It does seem to be an over Americanization, right? They're trying to Americanize.
Yeah, but this is where the ref cam that we all loved, and it reminds me of, remember when Fox took on NHL as a property, for a broadcast property? They introduced the blue puck, the shining
with
slap
the light,
shot.
the little comet
Yeah.
puck. Yeah. So
it's your time in these things to try new things out. And I have to say, if you're coming away with the ref cam, like, let's say they try 10 things and one of them, everyone just goes, that's perfect. Let's keep doing that. The ref cam, it's something that gives a different perspective, but even more than that, a different respect, right? We talked about the respect of the ref cam because people see how difficult it is to be a ref and how quickly moving the game is and all the above. If they can come away with trying these things and come with one advantage, and the talking to the referee with the captains, whether that's real or not, they can come away with 1 or 2 of these. Hey, this is a really good idea. I think you've done your job on the testing level. 2 out of 10 is pretty good. 1.5 out of 10 is pretty good.
But Jimmy, should they be experimenting at the Club World Cup, this massive tournament they're trying to establish as being one of the flag bearers of professional soccer around the world? Is it the stage to experiment?
Well, it is a Club World Cup, so they're probably trying to replicate what they do in the World Cup, but at club level. So I'm not all for all that, the hype and all that shit that goes on. I just like when the players come out of the tunnel and get at it. Kind of like the Premier League. I don't like when they come out and anthems and these big fancy introductions. Just play the game.
I think every match should have a performance prior to.
Jenny Ortega. Jenna Ortega should be playing it before every game because I have no idea.
But it's frustrating for the players as well, and you guys know this.
Oh.
You do your warm up, you're in the dressing room, you come out, and then you got like another 10 minutes of nonsense going on before you end up kicking a ball, and you kind of think, what I warm up for? Because I've been sitting here for half an hour waiting to get going again.
Yeah, it's not easy. Because at club level, you just get on with it, and then when you play internationally, you have the anthems, and that is a long time in between time. You just want to keep yourself going and keep yourself into the situation, and it becomes more difficult.
And it's quite funny too, because when you leave the dressing room and it's all rah rah, let's go, yeah, and then you get to the pitch and then you're standing there for 15 minutes. All that hype is out the window.
Yeah. Well, it's the pre-game handshakes I've never liked. Before the match. I get it after a match. In fact, I quite like it after the match. You get it in rugby. You beat the shit out of each other for 80 minutes and then you shake hands. I like that. But the I hate you before the match. I hate you as my opponent, and that's okay.
Did you see the one lad, the captain of one of the teams yesterday?
Korean team.
From Urawa Reds.
He just walked right by everyone.
Yeah, but it seemed that he was confused that he didn't know what to do because it's such a new thing, right?
I wonder. Yeah,
it's very un-Korean like to be unpolite.
True.
Impolite.
Impolite.
Sorry, thank you. I'm pulling a dubs here.
She was speculating.
Execute.
English is your second language.
Well, he was a little bit lost there. But let's assume he was just angry and hates them because it's a better narrative.
Of course, the confusion in the line of players that he bypassed, whether deliberately or because he was confused, was hysterical. So go back and watch that because players think, what the fuck's happening here?
I'm snubbed. I'm getting snubbed by some strangers.
Hey, by the way, speaking of impolite footballers, there are a few more impolite than Sergio Ramos in his career. He's still playing. Is he 39 now, Craig?
39, yeah.
Playing in Monterrey, and he had a great game yesterday against Inter Milan. He scores the go-ahead goal. Here it is. This is classic Ramos, eh?
Classic.
Yeah.
Jimmy, go on, say it. What did he do?
Climb the ladder. That's what he did.
Climb the ladder. Rose like a salmon.
Rose like a salmon out of a swamp.
Not an unattractive man.
Not a bad celebration with the shoe shining. I like that.
Love the shoe shining celebration.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites, actually.
Yeah.
But good for him now. 1-1 was the final score in this one. But Sergio Ramos, man, he's one of those lovable villains, isn't he? No matter what he's done in his career, he played 3 billion games for Real Madrid. I think he played for a season for Sevilla before moving to Monterrey. And I think it's quite nice seeing actually a player, with such a star move to not a lesser league per se, but a different league. You wouldn't expect to see Sergio Ramos playing in Mexico, would you? But he's gone there maybe for life experience. I'm not sure the reasons for it, but I think it's pretty cool.
Guardiola went.
Guardiola? Did he? He went to Mexico?
Yeah. I think he was at Dorados.
Oh, okay.
Only for a short period.
Yes, there's no language barrier, right? It's part of what it is. Culturally, it's easier.
But there's quite a few players go there.
Okay.
Go to the Mexican League.
Check wasn't too bad either, right?
Who?
What?
I'm sure his wages aren't too bad either.
They pay good money.
No, but it's nice also to see a Liga MX Monterrey team compete with Inter Milan. I like that.
We're seeing it so far. I mean, there's been a couple of blowouts, but it's early on. I know that, but this so-called European dominance, it's not quite the walkover that perhaps we expected so far, which is good to see. Although it could change today when we see Man City take on Wydad and Real Madrid up against Al Hilal.
It's an exclamation mark with a couple of ellipses and an exclamation on there.
When does Auckland play next?
Hmm?
When does Auckland play next? I need to watch that.
I think they went home.
I think we should have a viewing party for that one.
We should. Auckland play. They play on Friday actually against Benfica.
Oh boy.
Auckland has a challenge though. They if one of their guys get hurt, they have to replace them with the same job they have. So if the guy's a librarian, they have to get another librarian to fly in.
Another librarian.
It's a tougher
union rules.
It's a tougher replacement.
There probably aren't any librarians in that team, are there?
I don't know. We have to look at their occupations.
Not that a librarian couldn't play soccer. I'm sure there's some very good librarians.
I think you're stereotyping the librarian
a little bit.
The world.
My what I think of a librarian is probably very stereotypical. It's a little frail old lady with glasses and grey hair tied back in a bun.
Yeah.
A little bit sexy.
Not as sexy as Ramos.
Jeez. Dubs has to end the show quick.
Pachuca, Salzburg today as well. And the late one is Al Ain against Juventus. That's an interesting one as well. So that is a Club World Cup for you. Another edition. And hey, Wong,
Yeah. Wait, how do you watch this, Sharms? This Club World Cup.
I mean, you want to find out?
Yeah.
Well, there's a few. You can watch every FIFA Club World Cup game free on DAZN. Sign up now. Watch all of the FIFA Club World Cup free on DAZN. Sign up now so you don't miss any of the action. Of course, if you do sign up now, you have missed some of the action because it's been 4 days of action.
Don't miss any more of the action.
Right, but you can also watch replays of the games you missed.
That's true.
Do that.
Yeah.
With Footy Prime.
With Footy, and follow Footy Prime. We have a lot of content on our various social media channels, including the YouTube. So yeah, enjoy that. Enjoy the rest of the day, and we're back tomorrow doing more of the same. So thanks very much. This has been Footy Prime's Club World Cup mini pod. Bye bye.